there's a lot of opportunities that are presented to me in my travels to the Philippines or Tijuana or Bangkok, Thailand, uh, Korea, of which some I may have and may not have participated in. It always starts with alcohol, and it always starts with somebody saying, "Hey, you know what would be a great idea?" And everybody says, "Yeah, sounds like a great idea." I've never been arrested for anything. I don't think I have any illegitimate children. If there's somebody from another country that looks like this, could be me, but my wife knows all about it. When you're 18, 19, 20, 21, and you're single, and you're in the Navy, and you're traveling around the world, these opportunities will present itself. And you'd almost be a fool to say no. My name is Dave Canyon. Welcome to the Worldwide Travel Podcast. I'm in New York, in the United States of America. And with me is the Worldwide Travel Podcast team, including Luke from Milton Keynes. Say hello, Luke.
Hello.
Hello. Alexandra in Romania.
Hi, everyone.
All right. I'm pointing as if that's where everybody sees it. I'm not even sure if everybody sees where I'm pointing. And I think on top of me, is Elsa. Elsa, how are you? From the UAE.
Hey, yes, how are you?
Good. How are you? How's everybody doing? How's the weather? We have beautiful sunny 60 degrees here in New York. Luke, how's Milton Keynes?
Cold as usual.
Cold as usual. Like all year long cold as usual, or March cold as usual?
Too long in this country. 6 months winter is too much.
Interesting. I didn't know that. All right. They didn't plan that when they planned Milton Keynes, that you were going to get 6 months of winter. All right. You can't figure out for everything. Alexandra, how's things in Romania?
I mean, it depends on which things, but if we want to be on the safe side of the conversation
That's good.
and not go too controversial, things are good. I mean, I haven't been outside today, but I'm guessing, the town is still here. So, yeah.
But weather-wise, we're okay. We're breathing. Everything's fine. Yeah. No national disasters or anything like that as far as the weather.
Right.
All right, good. All right. You survived this long into the day. We appreciate it. Elsa, in the UAE, how's things in the UAE?
Well, it started foggy this morning, but then the sun was beautiful today. So, yeah, we enjoyed a bit of diversity.
Yeah, a little diversity. Fog is good in the morning. That's all right. It's better than fog in the morning. Get it over with. Most people, well, the commute, it complicates the commute. I've driven in fog. It could be pretty scary. And you can't fly in fog, really. Some guys, helicopters and things like that. So, all right. So you've made it. We've all made it. The Worldwide Travel Podcast is a division of Luke here, who wants to talk about worldwide travel, but we've also talked about local travel. We've tried to dispel myths. We've talked about people who do it for a living or do it for work, do it for pleasure, and try to elevate underestimated or under-promoted countries like Romania to the top of the list for other people, or Budapest or Budapest, and so many different areas of the world, try to expose them to the world that doesn't know about it, and get people traveling. Maybe we haven't really defined our 100% definable mission statement, but part of exploring the myths and getting people excited about travel is probably going to be in there. We'll get that. We're going to get that done. We had Luke and Alexandra, the WhatsApp terrorists today, just blowing up my phone. Bam! I mean, holy cow! What?
And
What's
mine
that?
as well.
Yeah, and you're blowing up your phone too. Yeah, I didn't want to speak for you, Elsa, but since you admit it. So here we are. We're just innocent bystanders, and buzz, bing, 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 bing. So we had a lot to talk about. It's okay. It's good. You guys are active participants, and we had a guest scheduled. The guest backed out. So we're going to get to questions and things like that. So we have an hour. Let's get to it. You want to start with the gifts and travel gifts and things like that first, Luke?
Yeah.
All right. So you brought it up. Why don't you take it away? Let's talk about that.
So when I'm going on holiday, I always, wherever I'm going, buy a fridge magnet from wherever I am. And I was wondering about you guys. When you travel, do you buy a fridge magnet or do you buy a different gift, maybe, to remember your trip?
Anybody want to jump on that?
Who wants to start?
I don't have an answer for that, so I'm going to let you guys answer.
I think I have an answer that's not as common. So let me
Okay.
start because it's probably something that no one else does. Which is not only do I not buy anything, I also don't take pictures. And if you're the type of person who wants to stop at every corner to take a picture, you're not coming with me on a trip.
Wow. All right.
You don't
Well,
take pictures.
yeah, let's lay down on the couch, Alexandra, and unpack this baggage. No picture taking, and what was the other thing? No picture taking and
And no purchasing of souvenirs and all.
no
Not
purchasing. Zero. Okay, let's unpack this. What's going on? What's happening?
well, I have ADHD and I get really bored whenever I have to wait for no reason. And so
Wow.
Wow.
every time every time when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to like either stopping for pictures or just stopping at some type of souvenir market to look through the stuff, I just get so like, oh my god, like I don't know what to do with myself. I just get this feeling I need to run away. I can't just be here and do nothing for 5 minutes. So yeah, that's all there is to it. But I'm medicated now and things are getting
You're
I
medicating.
have questions.
Yeah. So now you are taking pictures as a result of the
No,
medication.
I'm still not taking pictures now. But I might consider taking you on a trip with me if you are the type of person who does take pictures. So
Wow.
I'm have more patience for waiting without doing anything. That's what happened. That's what changed. So
Wow. Wow. That's fast. I've never
Uh,
heard that before. I didn't expect that. Once again, surprise us with some deep rooted thing about Alexandra that who knew? That's great. Thank you for sharing with us and the world, by the way. I thought it was going to be
yeah,
some
well,
sort of, I thought it was going to be a security thing or like, no, I'm in the witness protection plan. I can't really be taking pictures and all that stuff. The good news is your phone has plenty of memory, right? Because you're not clogging it up with pictures
oh
and
yeah,
you're
for
not
sure.
yeah, good news. Oh, good for you. See, there's a positive to all that, and no
I,
gifts.
And no gifts just because I just don't really like the art that much on the types of gifts that you can find at the souvenir shop and whatever. So if I happen to buy something, I buy it just because I would have bought it anyway. So not necessarily related to travel. So I do happen to have stuff from around the world, I guess. But it's not purchased because I was traveling and I need a memory. It's just purchased because
Right,
I well something that I like. But I don't
right,
make I don't make a purpose out of that. It's just more, if I happen to come across something,
right,
fine, I'll
right,
get it. But
right,
it's random
right.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Luke, you're
So
bothered by this? You have something you want to say?
uh,
are you bothered?
I am a bit. Look, you've travelled in Rome and you didn't take a picture of the Colosseum. You
Of
went. You
course
went to
not.
Vatican.
Not only did I not take a picture of the Colosseum from the place where I was, and by the way, like on that trip, I was very lucky to have a friend who was on the exact same page as me, and we were like bad mouthing people who stopped to take
Oh
pictures.
my God,
Love it. Love it.
And I
I
have,
can't.
sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I can't believe it.
No, yeah, it's true. And actually, I have a really funny story with this person, in Rome, since you brought it up. But about the Colosseum in specific. So the place where we were, where we were, the accommodation was situated in such a way in Rome where if we wanted to go anywhere in the city, we had to like pass by the Colosseum. So because we were seeing it every day, we were just like, okay, we're gonna leave this for the last day because it's so close. But then we would have to like pass by it every single day, and then every time we pass by the Colosseum, we'd be like, "Don't look, don't look," because we have to save this for the last day.
That's
S-
great.
Um. So when you was in Rome, did
Yeah.
you just pass the Colosseum? You didn't go inside.
No, we didn't go inside. We sort of like I think we thought of like, well, maybe we should go inside, but then we did some research to see exactly what the inside was, and we decided based on that it's not really anything worth it
You were wrong.
extra.
You're wrong
All right.
about that.
All right. You guys are going to have to take it back to your WhatsApp terrorism meetup over there and blow up our phones elsewhere. But yeah, that is interesting. I definitely have some perspectives on Alexandra. Elsa, how about you? Gifts, photos? Where are you on your travel relaxation expenditures and all that other stuff. Whatever we're
I
talking
would
about.
I would sometimes bring stuff if there was something I was interested in. For example, I remember in Oman you have this frankincense that you cannot find in a lot of places. So I would bring that. It smells so good.
Okay.
That's in Oman. In other countries, I really didn't have to bring so much stuff. Um, because it's not like something that's super um intrinsically typical to them. But it's sometimes okay. I would get some keychains as gifts or stuff like that, which is not bad. As for pictures, I was exactly like Alexandra for a small time, but now I actually enjoy taking like a few snippets, but it has to be short and sweet and simple. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I also go crazy. And I have a friend, she's the exact opposite. And so what she does is that she tells me, okay, stand here, do this position, do this position. Now she takes my pictures, and then she tells me, well, just like I did to you, now you're doing to me. And I'm like,
Oh
it drives me absolutely nuts.
no, that's no good. No good. No good. No good. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you would probably have some trouble traveling with, or all of us might have trouble traveling with a guest that we had previously, which was Matt Neff, because he's constantly droning and he's got the stick and he's eating and then we're eating and he's filming. And I mean, he says it's only 18 minutes of battery time, but you can imagine he spreads that out all through the day. So he's not running 18 minutes at once. So anybody, and I didn't mean to mention his name in a bad way, he does a great video channel, Matt Drones On. But still, listen. I know my wife would be annoyed, and that's why I don't do it when I'm with her. And yeah, that's so you buy some keychains maybe. For who? Who are you buying this for? For children? For other adults? For the
For
gifts?
my
Me.
family back home.
Oh, okay, okay, all right, interesting. All right, but you used to not take pictures, and now you're okay with it. But your friend takes it too far. Your friend is some sort of Vogue, magazine photographer.
Oh yeah, she can absolutely be that.
Strike a pose,
She
strike
would
a pose,
succeed.
strike. That that would drive me crazy. Luke, what's
Yes.
up? Tell us your story.
Well, I buy a fridge magnet everywhere I go, and I take a million pictures everywhere I go. And Alexandra, if I was staying in a hotel close to the Colosseum, and we passed the Colosseum every day, I would take a picture of the Colosseum every day.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I
Like
mean,
sunset, sunrise. This is midday. This is this time.
Yeah.
sure. I mean, but it sounds like the Colosseum was this big thing, this big sort of like monument that you wanted to see your whole life. Like
Yeah,
for me, that wasn't really the case. So that there's, for instance, like I wanted to see the chapel that Michelangelo painted. So that was
yeah,
something that I was, my whole life was dreaming to see. But then again, like if that's I feel like if there are so many professional pictures of that, what am I gonna see? By me with my dumb phone camera, what am I gonna see? How am I gonna
Well,
take a better picture than some professional guy who went there and really,
it's not about professional pictures. It's your memory, your experience of that place.
But yeah, but that to me, that's not captured in a picture, I would
Right.
say. For
Our
me,
hard
that's
drive is up here and in here, right? Like you know it, you feel it, you'll remember it. I'm just trying to help you out here, Alexander. Is that the way it is for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not here's the thing. If I do like the very few pictures that I do have, I never look at them. So that I know, I would never that's not a thing for me.
Okay.
But
All right.
but it's valid that it is for you. Please don't be upset at me. Like you seem
Right.
really
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
offended.
Yeah, let's not argue in front of the family. Let's not. All right, that's great. My story is, I had a grandmother, by the way, my father's mother, Frida, wonderful woman. Um, she would travel all the time. Her and my grandfather, William, would travel all the time. And when you're 6, 7, 8, whatever young age, I don't even know they're gone. What do I know? I don't check in with them. They don't check in with me, but they're gone. All right, and then they come back. Next thing you know, grandma says, "Oh, you got to come over and say hello. We just came back from whatever place they came back from, and she always had a gift for me. Really nice stuff. She marry, what do you call it? A puppet on the strings. She got me a puppet on the strings once from one foreign country. Some probably a very offensive portrayal of the of the natives. But back in the day, nobody knew, nobody cared. But now it's all gone now. She always got me something that was native to that area where she went. She went to some exotic locations. But I got to be honest with you, looking back now, one, I didn't know she was gone. Two, I didn't know where she was going because I didn't know she was gone. And three, I barely knew she was back. So, and well, yeah, I didn't know because I was involved in my own BS. I was a little boy. I didn't, we didn't. I loved her. Saw her every day. And not every day. I saw her a lot. My father's parents. But looking back now, it's like if she never got me that first gift or the second gift, I never would have expected any gifts. It'd been fine. Just go do your thing. I'm sure my grandfather, who was, I don't know how to describe him, not the most joyous, loving, outwardly loving, happy, free spirit. He would never do a podcast. Forget about that. He was a businessman. He probably was like, Frida, we have no room in the suitcase. Frida, that's too much money. Frida, we're not doing it. Stop worrying about it. He doesn't care. And the truth was, I didn't care because I didn't know. I didn't care because I didn't know. But, it was fun to play with. These really cool things she got me. It was a lot better than most grandmas that would go to the drugstore and get really crappy drugstore grandma gifts. Is that like a thing that we're aware of? We're all aware of crappy drugstore gifts? Yes? No? Is that just an American thing? No?
I mean, drugs, but just yeah. I don't know. That's drugstore gifts, but there is an equivalent of that. Yeah.
Convenience store. There's these really crappy low level gifts that if you don't know what this kid wants, you just get them this $1, whatever, really cheapo. You're not going to a specialty store anyway. So that's my history of that. Me personally, when I travel, I never think about buying anything. I think about how much I think how much everything's going to cost. My food, my travel. I don't obsess on it, but I'm not thinking anything. I had a friend's father who was very close to me. The father, I didn't know this, but I knew he was somewhat of a collector. But later on, I found out everywhere he went, and he traveled a lot, he got a shot glass and a spoon. And it's just crap. It's now crap in a garage. He's dead now. But now the son has to deal with that crap. All those shot glasses, all those spoons, and they all from every country. It's like some conspiracy. Somebody somewhere makes all these spoons and shot glasses, and everywhere you travel, you have to get like a fridge magnet. You get it, but he liked displaying it. But now that he's dead, it's just junk, and nobody wants it. So I did find one for the show. I did find this Florida. Can you see it? There you go, Florida. I got to be honest with you. I don't even know Sunshine State. And it says here, crafted in the USA. Oh boy, I got to learn how to use this camera. Exclusively for the Cracker Barrel, which is a chain of restaurants in this country. So yeah, we have one. I don't know how this got in my house, which is most things on my refrigerator. I don't know how they got in my house. I really don't know. The only thing I do know I ever bought in all of my travels, including, in the Navy, I bought some camera equipment because I was in the Philippines. It was really cheap. So anyway, I don't know why, but it was very, very cheap. I have this from Pennsylvania. It's a back scratcher. This is the only thing that but it says made in China. Wait, yeah, made in China. But it doesn't say Pennsylvania Dutch unless it did, and it was one out. This is the only thing that I can tell you in all my travels that I bought for any reason whatsoever. And it's great. It really scratches your back. It's very effective. And it's like, my son was he born yet? So this is at least 20, 25 years old. And it's still very scratchy, very, very scratchy.
Scratches, I saw.
Yeah, see? I haven't worn it down. It's not like it was more scratchier 20 years ago. I think so. It feels just as equally effective now as it did when I bought it. Anyway, no, I do not buy things. And as far as pictures, I think you guys know because you've seen me. I went to Florida, but I posted pictures that sort of, first of all, I take 2 seconds, click, I'm done, whatever. I'm alone. And I try, if I'm with my wife, I try not to disturb her because I know she hates it all. She hates all of this. None of this publicity. Don't tell anybody where you are. But I took a picture of that alligator. I took a video. It's kind of odd. I mean, Alexandra, if you're walking by the Coliseum and what's his name? That actor comes out from that movie, The Gladiator, and he comes out with a shield and a mace, and there's a lion. He's battling another gladiator, you probably take a picture of it. You say, oh, wait a
You
minute.
know what I would take a picture of?
Yeah.
That no. But if there was some weird, I don't know,
What's his name?
someone threw like a, I don't know, toilet dish or something by the Colosseum, I would take a picture of that because I think that's funny. So I'd take a picture of that, but I wouldn't take a picture. No, I do some the few pictures that I take, it's of stuff that's weird or funny, where I think they look cool for some reason, but it's
Yeah.
not necessarily
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. So I took a video of the alligator and a sign that
Yeah,
said, warning, there's an alligator in here, which it's not something you see. It's just,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't go around taking pictures of everything. Um, but with the digital, it's, you're not wasting any money. You're just wasting time. And yes, my phone is clogged with a lot of pictures. So you have an advantage. You don't have to worry about deleting pictures you don't want. All right. So I think we covered that. Anybody else have anything to add? That's a pretty
Yeah,
interesting topic there, I guess.
just
I
give me
just
a,
want.
sorry, yeah.
Go
Sorry, you're
ahead,
gonna.
Alexandra. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you just gave me a great idea because I think it's amazing to just start collecting something that's completely useless and then just leave it to your family and no one knows why you started collecting that stuff. I think that's something that I would do just to kind of pull a prank on anyone who comes after me and needs to handle my estate once I'm gone. That's insanely funny to do. So
I
great idea.
Do they call that an Easter egg? I think they call that an Easter egg. Like you'll find it later on, and that's playing the long game. That's really playing the long game. That somewhere down the line, somebody's gonna
You
say, "Wow, Grandma Alexandra was crazy. She has 150 spoons. World traveled, yes, but what a nut. What are we gonna do with these spoons? By that time you'll be Grandma Alexandra." So, oh, Russell Crowe. That's the actor I was thinking of. If you walk by
Oh,
the Coliseum and Russell Crowe is actually doing gladiator battle, I would think that would be pretty worthy of a shot. Anyway, I was just kidding, right?
uh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he looks like. What is
Doesn't matter. Famous actor, no big deal. Probably an Oscar winner. Who cares? But um, yeah, and the thing is about taking pictures of the Coliseum or anything like that is like I think you said it best. Like, how am I going to take a picture that hasn't already been taken by a
it?
professional who did it? It's in the magazine. It's in the books. It's on the
Yeah.
internet. So if somebody says, "Hey, you went to the Coliseum? Yeah, you want to see it? Sure. You have a picture?" She could just go to the internet and go, "Yeah, here's a picture. Did you take that picture? No, that professional did, and I didn't have to stop to do it. It's already been taken care of for us. Everything has basically been photographed. Is that what you're thinking, Alexandra?
That's
Everything has already
exactly.
been what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah.
yeah. But Luke, nothing wrong with what
Uh,
you're doing. Nothing wrong with what she's doing, unless you want to
but
continue
this
this.
is the social media age. So you take a picture. Look where I am today. You
Yeah.
know,
Right, right.
and while I was in Turkey, we bought a beautiful Turkish lamp.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that we bought on holiday.
A lamp,
Beautiful.
a lamp.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead. And
it's beautiful.
oh,
Do you want,
oh,
I
you
can't show
bought a lamp.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you bought a lamp for the house.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a little bit more than a gift, right?
Yeah.
That's not a trinket. That's furniture. You went furniture shopping.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
That's
You went all.
different. That's,
What's that?
And it's tradition.
well, sorry. Yeah. I just say like that's different, right? You would still have purchased it because it was cool, and not because you were on holiday.
Yeah, but it was traditional from Turkey, so we bought something like traditional, not just a random item. It was
Right.
traditional to that region. So
Interesting. Interesting. All right. All right. Let's move on. I'm sure the women, I know my wife, when we were in Italy, my wife bought some clothing in Italy. I don't know if those dresses were specifically Italian. I don't even know
Mm,
if she wears them today. I don't even know. I know I didn't buy anything as far as clothing or any. Yeah, it's not on my mind. So that's interesting. If you're a viewer of the show, go down in the comments. Do you buy things for gifts? Do you buy things to collect? Spoons, fridge magnets, magnets, shot glasses, postcards. I bought
postcards.
postcards. Some
Yeah.
people buy postcards and don't use them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bought postcards in Italy and I sent them one at a time. Bought 7 postcards. Then every day I wrote about the day before. I sent it to my parents. They didn't get those postcards for months. I was way home and then I said, "Hey, did you see my postcards?" "No, we didn't get them yet." I said, "How did I beat a postcard home?" So I don't know what's up with Italy, but my postcards took like months, 3, 4 months to get back to New York. So much for postcards. But yeah, and postcards are weird because you could just text and it's like,
Send
wow,
them
is
that
that a thing
picture.
anymore? What's that?
Send them that picture.
Send them the picture of
That picture
Elsa.
you don't want to take.
The picture I don't want to take.
Yeah. So those pictures that we usually say, I'm not gonna take any pictures. Hey, instead of a postal card that will take months, you just take a picture.
Right.
Hey,
Right. Right.
instantly.
Just take a picture. It's instantly. Well, my mother and father not exactly, smartphone. They were in the 80s. They weren't smartphone friendly. I'm sure they would have messed it up. All right, number one. What was that? Ultimate travel confessions. Oh wow,
Okay.
where did this come from? Things we've done or would never do while traveling. Wow. All right, Alexandra, is this yours? You want to start with this? Things that you've done or you would never do.
Well, and I didn't want to start particularly, but let's.
I'm assuming this came from you. Did this
Yeah,
come
yeah,
from you? Yes, it did. So
they
you
did
go.
that for me, so I do need to
Well,
take some responsibility there and
Okay.
I have one.
All right,
If
go
you,
ahead,
if you want
Luke.
me to
Take
start.
the stress off of
So,
Alexandra. Go ahead.
something I would never do on holiday is, do you know them big hop on, hop off buses?
Yeah.
I would
Right.
never in my life go on that bus.
Okay. And why?
Because these buses, they just drive past things. Like, they just drive past the Colosseum, they just drive past the Eiffel Tower, and they go, oh, look, there's the Eiffel Tower. And then in 30 seconds, it's gone. They don't tell you anything about it. They don't tell you the story. They don't tell you any history. They say, oh, look, there's that. Oh, look, there's that. And it's gone. You're not learning anything. When I go on holiday, I like to learn things. I'm traveling for culture. I'm traveling for history. I'm not just traveling to see things.
Right.
Yeah. I, this time I agree with you. And with yes. So the one thing is that with the bus, I think maybe it's useful if you don't have a lot of time to spend in the town that you're seeing or city you're seeing, or two, if you're someone who likes to or finds it easier to then like draw a mental map of the place where you're at, so that later on you can just go and say, oh, this is where I need to be to see the whatever
Oh,
the Colosseum.
I'd like to add something more as well. So Nelly has a friend who was obviously Brazilian, and they were in two friends. They were in Rome, and because they didn't speak any Italian or English, they just got Portuguese. They just stayed all the week on the bus. They didn't eat out in restaurants. They didn't go anywhere. They just stayed on the bus, ate in the hotel, and that's it.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
That sounds almost impossible. They just rode a bus every day, all day.
Yeah.
All
Not
right.
all day. They didn't want to talk to anyone because they didn't have any language. They didn't want to go to any restaurants
All right.
because I don't know, they just want to eat in the hotel.
All right.
I don't know.
That's
They won't be guesting on this show anytime soon. Thank God. So that's good. That's great. I will say I've never taken a bus either. I've never taken a bus either that I know of that I can remember. New York City is constantly with a double-decker bus. With the top is uncovered and all that. And I don't know what they do, so I can't speak to that all buses are the same. But I know my wife said to me, you ever want to do that? I said, no, not really. I don't see the need for that. But if I'm traveling to another country, I got time to burn, I got money to burn, I got nothing to lose. I've never done it. So if I'm with my wife or whatever, I'll go on that bus. We'll sit there. And if he zooms around or she and says things and doesn't says things, at least you might be able to get a big mental picture, right? I think Alexandra was pointing out of let's go see that later. Let's go see that later. Same thing if you were driving by yourself, right? If you were driving in a car or in a cab, you went, oh, what's that? We don't have time to stop now, but let's put that on the list. So on a bus, maybe, Luke, you can use that bus as a tool to further your trip, to do the things you want to do as far as learning. But I've never been on a bus, so as far as a tour bus goes, but I know if I was a tour bus guide, I wouldn't shut up. I would just tell you everything. So I would be great at that, and I would love you. I've done tours in a stretch limousine. When I used to drive a stretch limousine, I gave tours of New York City to people. Yeah, they loved it. It was because I'm a New York native, so and it's great. Not that I did this, but you can say anything you want. They're gonna believe you. So you can say anything you want. They go, really? I go, yeah. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, that's right. Dorothy Hamill, who used to skate over here, and Robert Redford, used to live over here. They just say whatever you want, but I didn't do that. You could do that but you could. But a lot of people, there's things I said, whatever it is, because I'm in a stretch limousine, and they're from Tampa, Florida, or who knows where they're from, and they're just amazed by New York City. So whatever you tell them, they're gonna love it. And if it's a beautiful sunny day, Forget about it. And you get a good tip at the end, hopefully. But anyway, that's enough about that. So buses out for Luke. I'm on the fence with buses. Um, uh, who hasn't spoken about this? What you've done and what you haven't done? Elsa,
Well,
Alexandra? Alexandra,
so,
we're going to save you for the end because you apparently have
okay.
something really exposing to
Well,
your private life you don't want to share with us. And I do too, by the way. So in a way. So I'll let you go first. But Elsa, what do you got going on?
What do I got going on?
Yeah,
When
travel confession. Yeah, go ahead.
well, when I travel, I try to keep my luggage as small as possible, as minimalistic as possible. It never works.
Right. Right.
And that's for a reason, because like most of the time I travel for work. So you have the work clothing, and then you have the sports clothing, and then you have the outings clothing, and no matter how much you try and skimp on that, it just by me being a normal average lady, we will have to have 3 types of shoes and of clothes and whatever. So yeah, this is the first thing that came to my mind about the things um, that are related to travel. Compared to my friend who's a really, actually, it's a really good idea to have her here. I mean, she came to me one time. She came to me for 3 days, and I can promise you, she had the biggest luggage bag I have ever seen. And
Wow.
that I don't do makeup, for example. So my thing doesn't even include makeup. She has a full bag of it. And I'm like, how? Teach
Right.
me how.
Right. Absolutely. Well, let me go. Just push the issue a little bit further, Elsa. It says here each host should share one travel confession, something funny, embarrassing, or even controversial. So I should have explained myself. So do you have something that's a confession, something that's funny, embarrassing, or controversial, and it could be a misconception about a country or things you swore you would never do, but you did it anyway? What do you got? You got anything a little bit more?
I will
You don't
have to
have to.
dig.
Oh, okay. Well, if you have to dig, it's probably not that good. You would know off the top of your head, oh, yeah, I should have never done that. I don't want anybody to know that. Is there something you don't want us to know? You can just say yes, and then we'll move on. Yes, there's something I don't want you to know, and we won't push you. That's good enough for me.
I
No?
really don't remember.
Okay. Oh, you would know. You would know.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. That's good enough. Alexandra, here's your chance. Fess up. Hopefully the statute of
Good
limitations is
time to
over.
shine.
Yeah. What did you do? Or
I,
not?
I see everybody got off so easy. That's why I didn't want to start because I was expecting for you to push this issue of the confession. Well, actually, there was the thing that I was telling you that I have a funny story from Rome. It's not that. I mean, it's not. It is a bit embarrassing. It's not that bad. But
We'll
actually.
decide. We'll decide. Go ahead.
Right. In this intimate circle where no one else is listening, we have a safe space to
Right.
express yourself.
Right.
So yeah, I was in Rome with this friend of mine, and at the time he was in the UK, so he had been living in the UK for a few years. And I was living in Romania. We met in Rome, and we were, sort of like visiting. We went to some museum. I forget what it was, but it was either a museum or an archaeological site. I think it was an archaeological site. That doesn't matter. The thing is that the lady at the lady who was like giving out the tickets and everything. She gives us the tickets, we pay her, and then I guess for statistics purposes, or I don't know, she asks where we're from. And without missing a beat, my friend says, UK. And then the lady goes, okay, can I see your passports? And here we both hand our Romanian passports. And I was like looking at him like, why did you do that?
Right.
But yeah, so that's
Okay.
yeah. I had to like I just felt embarrassed like the whole time we were there I was like, oh my god, it's just why did you do
Right.
what came on to you that you
Did
were
you
like
find, was there trouble? Was there trouble as a result of that?
it wasn't. It was just like embarrassing because we were
Yeah.
like, who knows, like what that lady, concluded. Oh, look at these Romanians. Here
All
they
right.
are, China. Because at the time we also didn't have the best of reputations in Italy. But honestly, he just because he had been living in the UK, like in his head, he was like, yeah, Here's from the UK. So yeah.
Okay,
So
got it.
I have a two travel confessions actually now.
Go for it, Luke. Here it goes.
So when we was in the Vatican, they tell you when you're in the Sistine Chapel, they tell you you cannot take any pictures of the Sistine Chapel. Well, we did take pictures secretly, like hiding the phone, taking pictures. And another travel confession: when we was in Istanbul, we were walking on a very busy street, and no one gives you space to walk. So as we were walking together, me and Nelly, we had to split up to walk around a crowd. And then I noticed a woman who had her coffee on the floor, and she was shouting, "Oh!" top of her voice in any language. I don't know what language she was speaking. Top of her voice, shouting, and I was laughing my head off. And then when I eventually caught up to Nelly, I said, "Look at that woman shouting." And then Nelly said, "Yeah, that was me." Because the woman didn't give her space, so she put her elbows out, and that's it. Her coffee was on the floor. So then we went into a restaurant to eat some baklava, and we were laughing uncontrollably, like to the point of crying. And we said after we finished laughing after about 10 minutes, we said, "Oh, they must think we're on drugs or something." We were just laughing uncontrollably.
Right. Oh, so unrelated to the coffee and screaming, you're laughing about something else. Well, you weren't
About
drunk.
this.
You weren't. What's that?
No, about the woman, because
Right.
I had no idea what she was screaming. And
Right.
then when I caught up to Nelly, she was like, "Oh, that was me. I just
Wow,
smashed
right.
her coffee on the floor."
You did.
Yeah. No, Nelly did.
Nelly did. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because
All
the
right.
woman didn't give her any space, so she made her own space, basically.
Wow. All right. That's crazy. And you were laughing. Couldn't stop laughing because who knew? That's great.
Yeah.
All right. I don't really have. I'm trying to think of a confession. Now, in my friendly travels with my wife or whatever, I don't really have anything to confess. We didn't go skinny dipping. We didn't have sex on an airplane or none of that craziness. Although, that would be fun. But when I was in the Navy, so that's a whole nother podcast. When I was in the military, as a young white male from the United States of America, there's a lot of opportunities that are presented to me in my travels to the Philippines or Tijuana or Bangkok, Thailand, Korea, of which some I may have and may not have participated in. It always starts with alcohol, and it always starts with somebody saying, "Hey, you know what would be a great idea?" And everybody says, "Yeah, sounds like a great idea." I've never been arrested for anything. I don't think I have any illegitimate children. If there's somebody from another country that looks like this, could be me, but my wife knows all about it. When you're 18, 19, 20, 21, and you're single and you're in the Navy and you're traveling around the world, these opportunities will present itself. And you'd almost be a fool to say no.
Well,
Right? What?
let me just ask you something.
Sure.
Well, actually, two things. First of all, should you have been arrested for anything? That's one. And two, when the question presented itself, hey, what would be a good idea? Was it always a good idea? Let me just
After a few San Miguel beers in the Philippines, everything's a great idea. All right. After a few Foster's Lager, everything's a great idea. There's nothing that's not, when you're a single male in the United States Navy, and you're traveling around the world on their dime, and you worked hard all day chipping paint or whatever it is that you do in the Navy, in the military in general. At 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock when the Liberty Bell rings and you're walking off that gangplank, everything seems like a great idea. It just takes one knucklehead to say, "Hey, you wanna?" "Yeah, let's do it." "Okay, well, I didn't think about that, but now that you mentioned it, I didn't think about that. It sounds like a great idea." So anyway, without confessing, that's my confession. I have no footage and no proof that I did any of it. Nor did they.
So presumably, Dave,
Yes.
at this point in the
Yes.
Philippines, you
Mhm.
would have been away from home for, I don't know, months and months on end. So
Yes, I am.
Which explain the good idea.
What's that?
which sort of explains the great ideas that come to mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the last time I was in the Philippines was in the spring of 1986. So 14, yeah, somewhere there might be a 39-year-old person running around that looks like me. Hopefully, he or she is very funny and and has a podcast. Maybe we'll find out. We'll see. We'll see the similarities. But my wife knows about it, and and it's not just me, by the way. Listen, there was thousands of us all over, and there were clubs all over. Manila, not Manila, Subic Bay. Have you ever heard of Subic Bay? None of you?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's a reason. So anyway, Subic Bay is for guys like me and in the Navy, in the military and stuff like that. So it is what it
Red Light
is.
Avenue.
Red light
Dave.
boulevard. Yes. Red light, green light. Red light first, then green light too. Like, oh, and then,
Dave.
as long as you're okay with Mama San, everything works out just fine. Yes.
Dave.
Look, go ahead.
It could be a good future guest on the podcast.
Could be.
Dave, meet your
Yes. Whatever.
possible son or daughter.
Whatever. Could be. My wife has known about this for years. She knows. She's seen the pictures. I'm not going to share them with you for now. But this is me being a good podcast host. It was on the list, and I'm participating to the fullest. I'm not going to claim I don't remember. I'm not going to claim some crazy other thing. I'm coming out full force and sharing. I'm not to try to disparage. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is what I did, and it's done. And would I do it again? That's the question. Probably yes, because it's a good idea. Probably it's a good idea. Not today. Today I couldn't do anything. Today I'd be no, I just watch. I'm just gonna sit here, just listen to the music. But Subic Bay was quite interesting. We could do a whole another series on just Subic Bay in the Philippines. And by the way, when I was doing what I was doing, whatever I may or may not have been doing, I had friends that were on spring break in Florida, and they were like, "Oh, we're having a great time." I said, "I bet you're not. I bet you're not having as good a time as I am, because it's insane here." And the whole boulevard, that red light district, the red light that Elsa was talking about, it's a boulevard. And it didn't matter what music you like, or what food you liked, or what kind of woman you liked or didn't like, or guy you liked or didn't like. It was right there. It was like a boulevard of sin, better than Vegas. And it's amazing that they don't market themselves, because I think the Navy pulled out, well, which is not the right thing to say, but the Navy left. They pulled out of the Subic Bay, and I don't know what happened to Subic Bay afterwards. Anyway, that was an entertaining couple of minutes. I confessed. I feel better now. I'm not embarrassed by it, and we'll see what happens. What's that? Why should I be? My performance was excellent. It was a good time had by all, and also very affordable. Very affordable. I'm glad you're laughing. I'm glad you're not disgusted by this, but it was very, very affordable. Very, very. And by the way, a lot of by the ways here. For a lot of the guys, this was like their first real experience. This is like, wow, you forget about being on the wrong side of the tracks. You're on the wrong side of the ocean. You're like over there. Nobody's going to find out if you're, as long as you're careful. And, this was their first real kind of relationship, kind of like whatever. And it's good in certain ways. In certain ways, it's probably not right. Probably should have never happened at all. I can't speak to the Philippines and why anybody would participate in this activity, but we did, and it's done. But I defended my country, and that's what matters. All right, there you go. All right, so there you go. Anything else?
This is
Anything?
weirdly wholesome and funny, and this is wrong, but it's like a very beautiful mix of everything. I like how you put it together. It's almost
I was
an advertisement for the Navy or for the Philippines,
yes,
depending on where you.
yes. If you're patriotic, and you're horny, it's a great experience. There you go. Yeah, no. Listen, that. Everywhere you go, there's Navy town. They know what they're dealing with. See how Luca's drinking something that's possibly an alcoholic beverages, could be an apple juice, we don't know, but they know we're coming. They know that we want to imbibe in activities that are fun for young men, and
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that. It's marketing, good marketing. They got me. So anyway, let's move on. What? They got me. Let's move on. Is there anything you swore you would never do, but you end up doing it? Or how about travel pet peeves? We have about 10 minutes left. What is your most annoying pet peeve? Rant about things that drive you crazy on trips, rude tourists, overpriced foods, bad airports, cultural misunderstandings. In my case, maybe venereal diseases. What are things that you love and things like that. So who wants to go first? I think I really said too much already.
I can go first.
Yeah, look.
But go ahead, Luke. Let's let Luke
So,
go.
one of my pet peeves is when I was in Rome again, the touristic restaurants. We didn't find a single good restaurant in Rome. It
Hmm.
was
Yeah.
all touristic food. It was all, um, it was just based around tourists, basically. But when we was in Naples, we found amazing food. So maybe we're just going to the wrong places. Maybe we should have done more research. I don't know, gone further out from where we were.
Interesting.
Not sure.
All right. Elsa, Alexandra, what do you got? What annoys you? What's your travel pet peeve, or what annoys you the most about traveling?
What annoys me the most is
Sure.
when when those sellers and bargainers start calling for you and hey, and excuse me, we have this, we have that, and whatever. And I'm like, hey, just leave me alone.
Yeah, and
Leave
it's just
Right.
crap.
me alone. I'm about to slap someone. Don't be the one I choose.
Right. Wow.
Leave me alone.
Wow. They're selling stuff on the streets that you know you don't need. You don't know if it's not Boulevard Watch, it's Boulevard or whatever junk, right? Is that what you're talking about? All that stuff on the street, Elsa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. It's annoying. You just want to be. All right, sounds good. At least you didn't have somebody who put down a coffee cup and started yelling at the top of their lungs, and you didn't know who they were. So good for you. Good for you. We didn't have to.
Well,
We don't have the duplicates of that story. Alexandra, how about you?
I think in terms of things, well, first of all, I have to say, now this time I'm offended at Luke's assertion that there's no good food in Rome. No, so, but let's not get into that. That would be a pet peeve about, regarding traveling that,
Yeah.
that I've just discovered 2 minutes ago. But other than that, there is, so I really like to walk a lot wherever I travel. I like to walk. I try to avoid taking any means of transportation as much as possible. And I like to also, go on hikes. Like if usually wherever it is that I travel, there's also an opportunity to kind of go out in nature and do a hike. And one of my pet peeves is traveling with someone who gets tired easily and needs a lot of stops and needs a lot of
Right.
this and
Right.
that. It's like that's a big one for me. Yeah, like
Right.
things.
Other people. Other people are your pet peeve. So
Yeah.
you have a people peeve. That's okay. That's okay. I get that. I'm going to go along with Alexandra on this one a little bit. I don't have a specific pet peeve, but yeah, my wife, who I do most of my traveling with, when I travel with anybody, it's with her. There's usually a matter of temperature conversation: too cold, too hot, too fast, too slow, too early, too late, things like that. But it's not like an argument. It's just like I don't pay attention to almost anything as far as temperature. But I know when I start to suffocate and I need the window open or I need to. So yeah, it's just typical married couple stuff. Hot
Yeah.
and cold, north and south, east and west. Nothing that we fight over. But I also have plenty of longevity in the day, and I don't need to rest. I need to go because I won't be back here for a while. Wherever I'm at, I will
Yeah.
not be back here for a long time, and I'm getting my money's worth, and I will
Ex-
stay up. But that's a double-edged sword because the truth is, we should go to sleep at a decent hour, and we should wake up early and start the day. But part of me goes, no, I just want to stay up for 7 days in a row. I don't want to sleep at all. Sleep is stupid. I'm not paying to sleep. I sleep at home. That's the one thing I can do. What I can't do is see the city. So uh, I think eventually time catches up with me, and I totally say, yeah, let's go home. Let's go back to the hotel room and sleep. But it's never an argument, but it is the pet peeve is I can never see as much and do as much as I want because there's only so much time and usually just only so much money. But when I'm alone, then it's great because I do whatever I want. Not the things I did in the Philippines, but you know what I'm saying? I do whatever I want. Like this trip to Florida, I went off the road and I went 10 miles off the road to get cheap gas. And I didn't care because I never saw that town. So, but my wife would have been like, but that's not the fastest way to get to Gainesville. And I'd be like, yeah, I know, but I want to get the cheap gas and I want to see another part of town that I would never have seen. So she would not have enjoyed that at all. And I would have felt bad if I dragged her 10 miles out of the way. So, yeah, there's always that difference. And we both want to get there, but it's a
Yeah.
matter of how we get there. I'm okay with almost any particular way. And now that we went to Italy once, right? We only have 5 minutes left, so I'll make this quick. Now that we've gone to Italy once and we flew on United Emirates airline, there's no other airline in the world that exists for my wife. That will be good. I will fly United. I'll fly Delta. I'll fly Joe's. I don't care. I'll fly any airline, and I'll make a stop, and I'll make 2 stops, and I don't care because I want to save $800 or $1,000. No, no more. The Queen must travel like the Queen wants to travel, and we will always fly United Emirates if that's the choice. No Express. If she wants to be treated the way she was treated, good airline. So anyway, that's my pet peeve. I want to save money and use that money during the trip. She wants to be pampered. She should have been Megan. What's her name? That married Prince. What's his name? Should have been her. She would have been so happy. She would have loved it. I can't provide that for her. Sorry, can't do it. All right, there you go. That's my confession. That's my pet peeve, is traveling with my wife. No, that's not true. I love traveling with my wife. We got a couple of minutes left. Wow, that was quick. Did you guys think that was a quick show? We did a lot. Most of us confessed to possibly a high crime or misdemeanor. I'm not really sure. Some of us, not so much. It's okay. Like you said, it's a safe space. Luke, Elsa, Alexandra, we got a couple of minutes to go. Give everybody a minute each. Anything you want to say before we say goodbye? Luke? Luke go? Yeah.
Just press like and subscribe, please.
Yes.
We're working hard. We're providing content for you every single week. We drop on Thursdays. Check us on social media. Press like and subscribe.
Great. Excellent.
Please.
Very nice. Elsa.
Well, actually, that was one of the most informative podcasts that
Yes.
I've ever had so far.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
It's never going to air. So it's okay. I say whatever I want. That's okay. I'm just going to hit the delete button after this, so I'm sorry. My apologies. Yes, it was informative. Go ahead, Elsa. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, actually, it was a really cool one because it really touched upon some very personal stuff, and each one and their little
In their own way.
tips and tricks and peaks and whatever it is. So
Right.
which I like because I like random stuff. This was I feel like the good type of random but very random.
Yes.
So why not? I like it.
Right. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was a good time. And you'll never see me again, by the way, also. But I'm sure they're coming to take me away. I'll be on the news. They're going to extradite me to another country, I'm pretty sure. Alexandra, save us. And
Right, if you want to hear us confess to more crime with potentially even evidence next time.
right.
Pleasure YouTube channel. Yeah, no, I enjoyed this thoroughly. We have so much more to cover. We barely got 5% of what we had, but that's great. I mean, that means we can pick up where we left off.
Right. Yeah. 5% of the 145 messages between you and Luke all day long today. That's about
God. That's your new travel-related pet peeve.
That's my pet peeve. Is the phone going off all day long, and it's like, come on, we're on vacation. Actually, I don't think my wife and I even used the phone when we were. Nobody wants to talk to us anyway, and we're in Italy, wherever we are. So I like getting away. It shuts the phone down. I don't remember being annoyed by the phone. I have nothing else to add except click like, subscribe, share. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below. Luke, give us some quick social media links, which you'll post. We're on TikTok now. We're on Twitter. World Travel Podcast, one word for worldwide. World Travel Podcast. We've had guests. We'll get more guests. If you think you should be a guest on the show, you have something to contribute, a confession. Doesn't have to be a confession. It could be anything. We don't normally confess. Let's just put that out there. Normally, we're not confessing to anything on the show. We bury everything. We keep everything deep. Nobody knows anything personal, but I think we might have opened up a can of worms or Pandora's box or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if that's a familiar phrase around the world. But so if you'd like to be a guest on the show, contact Luke or contact Worldwide Travel Podcast and get booked. We'd love to have you, talk to you. And anything in the world of travel and worldwide travel, we're looking to discuss it. So maybe some myths today. We might have busted a myth or two. I don't know. We've exposed ourselves a little bit. We've confessed. We had laughs, and we learned a little something, I think. A little. All right. And that's it. We're
and
good.
a lot is yet to come.
More is yet to come. Yes. That's pretty much my darkest and deepest confession that I know of right now. Elsa, you need to remember some stuff too. You said you didn't remember, so we caught you off guard. So you'll spend some time You'll come up with something. I'm sure somewhere in there is a male dancer or something that you don't want us to know. I'm pretty sure. No? Because I know you're into
Bring it
dance.
here.
What?
I'm bringing him here.
Okay, there you go. I knew something was up. Too good to be true. All right. Thanks, guys. It was good to speak with you, and we will all see you soon. Everybody wave goodbye. All right, guys. Take care.
Bye,
See you
everyone.
later. The stop button, and we're good. There we go.